Hello everyone. Today we are going to be playing some Breath of the Wild and looking at more of the Legend of Zelda references that are in this game from past Legend of Zelda games. The first topic that we're going to be discussing are the divine beasts. All of the divine beasts are named after characters in past Legend of Zelda games. So, the first one that we are going to be visiting is Varuta. So that one is, let's see, up here. We'll go ahead and travel there. Stasis. Attacking objects stopped by stasis will make them build up energy. This energy will then be released once the time halting effect ends. So when it comes to all of these divine beasts, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about them, but we will just be briefly visiting all of them. And I'll talk to you a little about them. Let's get up this little part of the mountain here so we can have a better look at it. Here we go. So you can see, we can see Zora's domain right over here. And here's the divine beast. Doesn't that look awesome? So, Varuta is named after Ruto, R-U-T-O, of Ocarina of Time. She was the water sage and was a Zora. So it's pretty fitting that not only is this divine beast named after her, but that it was for part of the Zora region, if that makes sense. Not only that, if we look at the map, you can really see her influence on this general area with Zora's River. Prince Rallis here from Twilight Princess. Let's see, here's Ruto Lake, Ruto Mountain. There's just a lot having to deal with her. So I just think that's really cool that they included those just little things like that and did their research for this game. So the next one that we are going to be looking at is up here. Rudania. And we actually need to change our clothes in order to go see this one. So now let's warp there. Granters of boons. At the far reaches of the continent, there is a being that trades in heart containers and stamina vessels. Okay, if we also climb up here just a little bit, we will see the divine beast Varudania. And this was named after Darunia, who is also in Ocarina of Time, and who was the fire sage of that game. Of course, you can start to see a little bit of a pattern here with the names of them. Again, his influence can be seen fairly throughout the Goron region here. Well, the Elden region, I should say. And here's Goron City. We even have Darunia Lake right here. You can tell Rudania is just... It's almost Darunia's name, just a few of the letters are switched around. Which is something I quite like about this game, is that a lot of the names here are very similar, but slightly misspelled or in a certain way mispronounced. I kind of like that, so it makes it just a little bit different. But that is this divine beast. And I also like seeing that you can just look right down into the volcano. Look at all that. But now, again, we're just going to briefly go over that. And now we're going to go to the next one, which is right here. Divine Beast Va Meadow. But before we do that, let's change our clothes and head over there and we'll travel. Fairy effects. If you keep a fairy in your pouch, it will automatically restore some hearts when you fall in battle. Alright. So, here is the next Divine Beast, Va Meadow. Now for this particular one, it took me a while to figure out who this one is named after. Obviously, this one is of the Rito, but the surrounding area, you don't really see any influence of the name in general. Until I remembered that in Wind Waker, the Earth Sage Medley is also a Rito that helps you along the way. So I figured that's probably what Vedo is named after. Since it's, a bird, obviously, and it being part of the Rito, and then also Medley in Wind Waker being a part of the Rito as well. But again, it's something that I wasn't quite sure of, but you don't really see her name in, or a version of her name in the surrounding area, but that is my theory anyway, that's related to her name for Divine Beast Meadow. And now, the last Divine Beast that we're going to look at is all the way down here. Divine Beast Va Naboris. Go ahead and travel to that one. Battle tip. If a monster is hiding behind a shield, you can bat the shield away by hitting it with a heavy sword or axe. Okay. So, here is Divine Beast Naboris. Naboris, sorry. And can you guess which one this one is named after? This one is named after Nibiru of Ocarina of Time, and she was the spirit sage in that game. However, on this one you can see a little bit more of her influence in this game. We have Mount Nibiru here. Just in general, it makes sense to have it named after her because Nibiru was also a Gerudo here at Gerudo Town. I don't know. In general, I really appreciate the time and the planning that they went into all these names and things like that. I wasn't necessarily a fan of being inside of the Divine Beasts. You know, when it comes to Breath of the Wild, I have a lot of mixed feelings about this game. I really love it, and you know, defying what the usual Legend of Zelda game means, you know, and I love that they've made some of the changes, but at the same time, I don't like some of them either. So, it's hard to always tell exactly how I feel about this game, but the Divine Beasts was something I was somewhat a little disappointed in playing. But, I don't know, that's just my opinion anyway. So, I just wanted to briefly go over the Divine Beasts and the fact that they had names related to past Legend of Zelda games. And now the second topic that I'm going to discuss in this video are about the dragons that you can find in this game. I am also going to be going to some other locations of where you can find them. So, the first one we're going to talk about is Dinraal. And after you go to, the Spring of Power and activate the shrine here, then Dinraal will have a regular route that it flies, and all of them you can find them in a certain place every morning, and the place where Dinraal you can first see in the morning is right over here at this Elden Great Skeleton area. So I am going to just warp to this shrine so that I can show you the spot. Octo Balloon. When inflated, this sack obtained from defeating Octoroks is extremely buoyant. Place it near something. Oops. It went away too fast. Okay, just look at the map. So, if we come this way, you can see a path right down there. You can just fly right over to it. Okay, so now that we've made it to the skeleton here, we're gonna go on top of this rock right here because it's probably the easiest to be able to get the closest to the dragon anyway. So, what you need to do is just make a fire first off. So we're going to get some wood and hold. We're going to just drop it right here. We're going to use our sword to make a campfire. And then we're going to wait until morning. And they all spawn in these specific locations in the morning. So just come right up to the top here. And wait for it to come. You can already start to see it right there. And now as it starts to get a bit closer, you'll start to see the wind picking up. And the music will change. Look at those colors. Doesn't it look so cool? Now this is probably the easiest place to be able to farm from the dragon, but we're not going to be doing that in this video anyway. Really love those red colors. I think it's just really cool to be able to see dragons in this game too. Very cool looking. So, while it's still somewhat in the area, I'm going to read the description about Dinraal in our photo album. And it says, "A spirit of fire has taken the form of this giant dragon, making its home in the Elden region. It's said to have served the spirit of power since ancient times. An old saying goes, the dragon ascends to the heavens as the sun begins to set. But nobody has witnessed this in the current age. The flames that coat its body make it dangerous to get near, but Dinraal bears no ill will towards people." And you can see where its common locations are. So, this is Dinraal. Now, the next dragon that we are going to go see is Naydra. And you're able to find that in the Naydra region. Let's see, let me find. So it's generally going to be a good place to go is near this road here at the east gate. If you climb kind of near this mountain area. So let me find the closest shrine and we'll head to it. Aim controls. Some items, like bows, allow you to target things by tilting the controller. Remember to be aware of your surroundings when doing this. Okay, so we've made it to the gate. This is a pretty rainy area, so you'll probably want to, if you can, try to make a fire underneath this archway here. We're gonna sit until morning. And then we're going to go back up here. And you can already see it right there. There, let's change our clothes so we can climb a little better. There we go. Now we're able to see it pretty well. So there is Naydra. This is one that you activate after you do everything with the shrine at the Spring of Wisdom and activate it for its regular route. I really like the colors on this one. You can see it's really pretty. And again, this is probably the best place to be able to farm from it. Because it will come down this way. And if we read the description of this dragon, Naydra, right here, it says, "A spirit of ice has taken the form of this giant dragon, making its home in the Lanera region. It's said to have served the Spring of Wisdom since ancient times. An old saying goes, the dragon ascends to the heavens as the sun begins to set. But nobody has seen this in the current age. The ice that coats its body makes it dangerous to get near, but nature bears no ill will towards people." So, that is this dragon. And then the last dragon that we are going to visit is Farosh. And that one is going to be all the way over here. The best place to be able to get to it probably is the bridge of Hylia. So we'll just go to this lake tower. Updrafts. When fire spreads, it creates an updraft. You can use the paraglider to catch the updraft and ride it high into the sky. So we need to come to the bridge I have Hylia. And pretty much on this side of the bridge, if that makes sense. Let's wait until morning again. Get the wood. And morning. You can either wait on top of the bridge like this, or down there a bit more. It doesn't make a whole lot of difference, well, depending on if you're wanting to farm it or not. But you can see right there, there's Farosh. And it will come near this way on down there. But this is where it first comes from. And it's going to slowly make its way over here. Now, Farosh, again, is one that you unlock after you do everything with the Spring of Courage here. So let's go ahead and read the description of Farosh. It says, "A spirit of lightning has taken the form of this giant dragon, making its home in the Faron region. It's said to have served the Spring of Courage since ancient times. An old saying goes, the dragon ascends to the heavens as the sun begins to set, but nobody has seen this in the current age. The electricity that coats its body makes it dangerous to get near, but Farosh bears no ill will towards people." Now, my thoughts are that all of these dragons represent the three goddesses of the Legend of Zelda universe. Din, the goddess of power, fire, Naydra, the goddess of wisdom, ice, and Farosh, the goddess of courage. In Ocarina of Time, it explains a little of who these goddesses are and what they did. However, in Breath of the Wild, the names are really similar of these dragons to the goddesses, but they're just slightly off. But that's how all of the things in this, how all of the names in this game are. However, here's something I'm wondering though. Are they just the representation of each of the goddesses? Or are each of the dragons the reincarnation of these goddesses? In each paragraph of these dragons, it says that it is a spirit of fire that has taken the form of the giant dragon. So, and obviously Din, the goddess of power, and this dragon for the Spring of Power, and so on with the different names. I don't know. It's just something that I think is interesting. I'm not really sure what they are, but they're very beautiful to see. I also saw a video on Legend of Zelda theories that there was something else that I wanted to share with you. It's mentioned in the game that people know of the dragons, and even in the description you could see that, but that no one has actually seen them. But, if you play Breath of the Wild, obviously you can see them flying around pretty regularly if you know where to look for them. Is it just that no one else is meant to see them except for the hero? We know that the hero is the only one who can see the Koroks. So, you know that because of the first time you meet Hestu. But I guess it also makes sense that they would do the same thing with the dragons as well. I don't know, more than anything, it's just food for thought, I guess. But for now, I think I'm going to end this video here. I hope you found it relaxing and enjoyed looking at these divine beasts and these dragons with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.